여러분 안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Korean Fluency Journey. 여러분, I know it's been a long time since I uploaded a video on YouTube. So I have some time to do that. And in today's video, in the following videos as well, we are going to talk about particles, one of the important topics, grammar topics in Korean grammar. So um, there will be a series of videos dedicated to this topic, but in today's video, I'm going to explain what 조사 is and why they are important, why they are used, and why we have to study and pay attention to them. So, and in the next videos, I'm going to cover commonly used 조사 particles one at a time so that it will be easier for you to understand and also use them in practice. Okay, so let's get started. So 조사. So today's topic is 조사. Sometimes they're called particles, or sometimes in some textbooks they call it like marker. So both are fine. So you can use the one that you feel more comfortable, particle or um, marker. So let's get started from what 조사 is, what particle is. So 조사 are the particles, or we also call them like postpositions. Maybe you're familiar with prepositions in English, that words that we use before a noun or certain parts of speech, like on, with, for, like. But in Korean, it's like kind of more postposition because they are actually attached to the noun after, to the end of the word. So they are small words that are attached to the end of nouns, pronouns, or noun phrases to indicate their grammatical role in the sentence. So you can think of 조사 as like small words that we attach to the end of the nouns or pronouns. And when we look at uh, origin of the word, 조사 means like helping words. 조 is like from Chinese, like to help, and helping word. So 조사 literally means helping word because they help clarify how the word they follow functions in the sentence. So these are not the main parts of speech. So main parts of speech are nouns, pronouns, verbs, right? But they are just small words. They just have indicate a grammatical function, right? So they're not like main parts of speech. So, and what's the role of the 조사? In English, word order or prepositions usually do most of the work in the subject. Like if you, um, for example, in order to understand the sentence, so this is the subject, this is the verb, or this is the uh, what's uh, direction, right? We always have to look at the word order, like subject comes first, and then we use a verb, and then the object, right? Also, we use some prepositions in order to, I go to school, right? These kind of words. But in Korean, in order to understand these kind of structures, you have to look at the 조사. So in Korean, 조사 tell you who is doing what, where, how, and etc. Regardless of word order. So word order in Korean is not that important because we have 조사. In English, word order is important because it doesn't have a 조사. So if you use the word at the beginning of the sentence, that means it's a subject, right? So, but in Korean, if you use, for example, you can use any object at the beginning of the sentence. You can use object at the end of the sentence, and it makes sense because it has a particle attached to it. So you can just get the sense, get the meaning of the sentence. So that's not that important, the word order in Korean. And Let's look at some examples of 조사 that we are going to cover also. There are some more not listed in this table. So for example, 이가, you're familiar with 이가, that's a subject marker, right? So 내가 학생이야, I'm a student, or we also have 있는. Maybe you have watched lots of videos trying to explain the difference between 있는 and 이가, right? I'm not going to talk about that right now, and I'm not going to confuse you. And you also familiar with 을을, that's an object marker or object particle. So in order to make an object in the sentence, we need to attach to the noun or to pronoun. 책을 읽어요. I read a book. A book here is an object. So in order to indicate that it's an object, you can use it. You can use 을을 in your sentence. And location or time particle, they are like 에. For example, 월요일에, on Monday, right? 5시에, at 5 o'clock, or 집에, right, at home, or, and also we have 에서, that's a location of action, or from somewhere, or for example, 서울에서 오고 있어요. I'm coming from Seoul. Or 서울에서 일해요. I work in Seoul. So that's the location of action. 집에서 공부해요. I study at home. 집에서 공부해요. And we also have some particles like and, 와, 과, 하고, 이랑, and 에게, 한테, that's that to the person. Right? For example, 친구에게 말했어요. 친구에게 선물을 줬어요. I gave a present to my friend. Right? So, and 또, that means also or to. So, 나도 학생이야. I'm also a student. 나도 외국인이야. I'm also a foreigner. So, it doesn't change a word, but it just adds some grammatical function, right? That also to.